So, Hajia Samira, I'm
All
checking,
right.
testing.
Yes.
Yeah, get to see your face.
Yeah. Good to see you. So sorry about that glitches. And
Yes.
I'm glad that this really happened because Dr. Sani's discussion and perspectives are really giving
Yes.
me background to a real fundamental, solid ground to what I'm going to speak about.
So
And
true.
I know before the glitches happened, I was actually happy to be here and to meet Mrs. Defisayo virtually. Like said, I wish it was an in thing and then we could hug. One time, another time, we give us that opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, everyone that is here. And was asking me before I got off abruptly about skills for the future. And from the discourse from Dr. Dairu Sani, honestly speaking, the policies and structure are quite important when we are looking at these things. I recall when trade skills was introduced to all schools.
Yes, ma'am.
Apparently, these things was thrown at us, school owners and public schools or whichever. There was no teachers on ground, no curriculum, no anything. Mrs. Ajala is here. And we were battling who will teach these skills, trade skills as they were called. Eventually, those trade skills just become examination skills. They become another examination papers for these students. And most schools have to get people from the street, from the public, who are not teachers, to come in and teach this. Mostly, there was no practicality about it. And that is what Dr. Sani is talking about. Without policy without structure, create chaos. And that was what had happened. So you see that schools are doing things like bookkeeping, data analysis that could just give them the normal thing, the theoretical learning, and the children sit for the exams and they pass that. Thank you for Dr. Sani for this. I want to also say one thing. Even when the government do the policies or the structures, it is so unfortunate that they come out with very grandiose objectives, development strategies, and so on and so forth. But implementation is always another thing. Again, you discover that the people on ground, the people that actually know these things, that are supposed to be part of the planning, part of the decision making, part of the policies, are never invited. Like the Dr. Sani who is giving us this perspective, you will never see them inviting them. It becomes a politicized something, a committee, and these things are thrown to us. Mission becomes a problem. However, going forward, for us as educators, to look at skills is very important for the future. Dr. Sani has said one thing. Sorry, I'm leveraging too much on what you are saying, Dr. Sani, but it's quite important and it's part of what I do. The children must know what they want, their interest area. What am I good for? What do I need to do? Sometimes they can even try all hands in different spheres or spaces. Today, somebody can try to be a musician, to learn music, try to be on the farm. Why are we teaching agric in the classrooms? In my school, we teach agric on the farm. The children go to the farm. But how many schools could provide those things because of the size and population and everything? The children learn bricklaying. During our time, we do handwork. Knitting, crocheting, sewing our clothes. The children can no longer do that now. Even when the clothes is sewn, they are looking for these workers that will come and sew it for them. From the home, we are not even teaching our children how to have skills, how to learn skills. So if a child knows this is my interest area, allow that child to be there. Some can be footballers. Most of the time, our educational system is one size cut for all. A child must be intelligent, must be brilliant, must everything, that's all, and pass examinations. And like you said, most of these things create problems. By the time we run into chaos, we create additional problems for the society and for these children. Skills are very important. Ms. Ajala is on this call. We have, and even we have been at the skills sector, and we've been trying to push to see how these vocational centers can be done, how we can have skills for the students, how we can equip the children for the future. It should be something that will open their mind, that they could be able to solve problems, even problem shoot, and then look for solution. And by looking for solution, that solution becomes a way of making money, and they become entrepreneurs. That's what entrepreneurs are for. But the theoretical framework and the deliberation and the implementation and strategies are always chaotic. And that's why we have the problems. Again, if we are sure that these children actually know exactly what they want, there are so many skills, even the ones that are very, the technical, the digital line, like artificial intelligence, programming, coding, and so on and so forth. People make money from that. They solve problems. We can't run away from technology. In actual sense, we live technology. We don't use technology, we live technology. Be that as it may, now going forward, if it doesn't happen, schools must be intentional about putting all these things, even from the discovery, the early stages, hands-on activities. Most parents expect their children to start counting 1 to 1,000 at the age of 2, 3. Does that solve our problem? But when it's hands-on, there are having activities. The STEM should be STEM line should be exploited. All those projects should be exploited. They are not for decoration or put in our classes or in the laboratory. Then they become something else that eventually we throw away. No follow-up. Research. We must even teach the children to have the notion of making researches and making the product themselves. There is nothing that they cannot make that is not already made in the world. But theirs is to make it and be more creative about it, more innovative about whatever they are doing. And in our schools, we should be able to do that. Garment making and so on and so forth. I'm running out of time, right? Or should I continue?
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this so much because my brain is. I'm hoping that people. I'm seeing the comments, and we just realized that the comments have actually been coming just to us, the hosts and panelists. Meanwhile, we've had some really amazing comments in the chat area. So you have about one more minute, Ma. There's so many things you've said here that I would recap once you're done. About life skills and all that. Please continue, Ma. So you have about 1 minute, and then we will take it from there.
Even the life skills should include soft skills.
Yes.
That will enable the child to cope with the society, to cope with himself as a person. Communication skills, soft skills that align them with understanding, perspectives, respect for one another. Those soft skills too are very important to be able to manage the skills that they are going to have and they are going to use for the future. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
And for generations to